This week on the podcast, we're joined by Eric of DVZNMedia. I give my first impressions on Boundary. We talk about the Sony state of play, and we talk a little bit of tech. All of that and more in this week's episode of the podcast. Roll the intro.
Ba-da-da-da-da, do-do-do, ba-do-boo-boo-boo-boo,
Bing bong?
That'll
Is that
work.
time right?
I don't know.
Nope. Okay.
We'll
Alright. Next time I'll time it and then I'll like put some gusto into it, like bing bong.
Really give it some jazz, man.
you gotta put your balls into it, dude.
Gotta say it with your chest.
Say it with your chest. Hello and welcome to Next to Nothing, a podcast for gamers on a budget. I'm your host, Danie K. With me, as always, the wonderful, the beautiful, the Mr. Green Elite. Green Elite, how are you doing today?
I am good. I had got my booster shot today. Pretty excited for the massive headache I'm gonna get tonight. But other than that, I'm doing swell. Doing swell.
Yeah, that I say you started that out with a question mark, so I assumed there was something.
No,
I'm
no.
doing
I'm just
well.
I'm vibing, thriving, and getting on my next hypers fixation, which is painting stuff.
Excellent. We're also joined by the spooky and the ukuli, the Mendachi. Mendachi, how are you doing today?
Yeah, we're mighty spookily today. I had a dream last night where I lived through the entirety of today already, and things were bad. Things were pretty bad, but in this reality, if this is truly the reality, things are pretty good, Danny. If you're the real Danny, how are you?
I am very real, very not simulation-y.
That's
How
to be
how can you
debated,
prove?
actually.
How can you
Yeah.
prove that you yourself are real?
That sounds like something simulation Danny would say, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say I think, therefore I am.
I am only aware of my consciousness, not others. So therefore, you technically could not be real.
Did you just call me an NPC in your life?
Could be. Could very well be. Yeah.
Definitely.
Yep.
You definitely
you
are
are-
NPC.
You are the gate guard explaining that you were an adventurer once, but took an arrow to the knee. So that's all I'm saying.
I don't even get in staying within the Skyrim analogy. I'm not even a graybeard, or I'm not even like oh fuck, Mendachi, you might need to help me with his name. What was the blades? The old man, is it Ebern?
Yeah,
Esbern?
of the blades, yeah.
Yeah, not even an Esbern.
Did you look at the scroll? Did your penis fall off and your eyes shrivel up into the back of your head?
Danny, you are the Honda Accord of video games.
Oh. Oh.
Reliable.
Ooh, okay. I like the spin. I like the spin.
You know what? And you'll put 300,000 miles on me without any problems either.
I'll ride you hard and put you away wet. Don't you get it twisted.
Oh.
Ooh.
Never
Do the
miss a
wheels
wheel
fall
change,
off?
buddy.
The wheels fall off.
Just don't forget to change my oil. We're also joined by Eric of DVZNMedia. We had a conversation about it, but I'll let you talk about it here. Eric, who are you? What do you do? And where can people find you?
Hey, it's your boy Dookie. I'm in the house, but you could call me Eric. DVZN Media. I'm here with the guys, man. I'm ready to talk some tech. You can find me on the internet. I've been on every social media that ever was. Like, I think my MySpace page is still active somewhere. So you can find me out here, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram at DVZN Media. I talk tech, especially budget tech. So if you're trying to save your dollars, come holler at your boy.
Yeah, so like your most recent video is modding a dirt cheap mechanical keyboard.
Yeah, man.
I
It came out pretty good.
Yeah, I haven't watched it yet. It's on my to watch list, but a couple of the videos that I'm going to recommend people check out is the trying Five Below's cheap tech and Probably my favorite one because I really want to get some of these is your Govee Glide review.
Oh yeah, man. The Govee Glide. If I did the proper streamer thing, I would have it in the background, but it's on a different wall, so it's just over there. But I like the Govee stuff. I'm trying to figure out how I could get more without aggravating, and making it look crazy in the living room where my wife is just looking at me nuts because there's lights everywhere. Yeah, and then the cheap keyboard, that was fun because I figured, like, when you get into some of these hobbies as an enthusiast, you're like, am I really gonna sit here and lube switches for like hours? And then you end up doing it. You're like, this is all right.
And mechanical boards can get crazy expensive.
Serious. So I was like,
Because I've peeked into it. Like I built my Glorious up from essentially
nice.
bare bone to, and it's crazy. So
Yeah,
like the budget.
I definitely won't be touching any of those like $1,000 builds anytime soon. I don't even understand that lifestyle.
Nah, man,
Well,
I'm here to beat the crap out of it, dude. I'm not putting thousands into that.
This one clicks slightly differently. Okay,
Mm.
you can really feel it at that 4 kilogram mark. When you're really pressing down on it, gives you that nice tactile feedback. Clicky clicky click.
I won't lie. Sometimes I think about like when I'm sitting there doing a video or doing the test, and I'm like, okay, I'm typing. I'm just recording me typing for like 5 or 10 minutes, and I'm just like, is this real? Is this what? Maybe I'm the NPC. Like, why am I doing this?
Who's making me do this?
Yeah, but the more you get into it, the more you're like, this is kind of cool. So.
There's whole channels like dedicated to ASMR typing.
No.
Yeah.
I feel like I would go crazy after a while.
Oh, absolutely. That would drive me absolutely nuts. But some people dig that, and that's none of my business.
I'm kind of anti ASMR. I am. Like, stop whispering in my ear. Stop tapping on stuff. Like, one of my favorite channels, he just started adding that into his videos, and I was just like, why? Why are you tapping on the microphone? Nope. What are you doing? Who likes that?
There's only one kind of ASMR I like, and that is RevsFan's Beard ASMR.
Yes.
Guys, we do have a question of the week this week. This week we're asking you, what's your favorite gaming accessory? Right? We haven't asked this in a while. What have you guys picked up lately? What are you guys really enjoying? We'll kind of take like a little go around the table here. Eric, you want to start us off with a good one?
I haven't picked one up yet, but I'd be willing to try to get my hands on one of those like full scale Street Fighter arcade style joysticks. Like, I want one with all the buttons and everything. And I haven't played Street Fighter in years, but I feel like if I got one of those, I'd just be back to being the best Street Fighter player in the world, because I didn't document it. So I just need to get it documented now,
Are you at least better than DSP?
I mean, I don't know who that is. No,
Dark Side Phil.
Yes. I mean, come on now. Come on now. I saw this cute video one time of like these two guys, at an event, and it was like this crazy comeback. It went viral and everything. I was like, I used to do that every day on a Sunday. That's nothing. Like, let's go.
Moment 32 between Daisuke the Beast and I can't remember the other guy's name, but yeah, it was he was playing as Chun-Li, and he blocked a 36 hit combo from Ryu, and or no, other way around, blocked a 36 hit combo from Chun-Li, and then came back with a double flaming shuriken, and actually ended up losing
that's
that.
it?
Yeah, just 36 parries in Street Fighter 3 Alpha, and he still lost that match. that was round 2, and he lost the 3rd round.
That let me know that Street Fighter ain't for me no more. I was watching that, and I was like, oh, they wasn't doing that in the arcade when I was playing. That's ridiculous.
Mendachi, how about you? What have you picked up in the last little bit?
So I've gotten quite a few things. I'm going to limit it down to really quick, just two of them. So this is a little EVGA mouse that I got. Nice little side buttons. Didn't break the bank. I think I got it I think it was like 60% off on Newegg. So really nice. Comes with a cord. Really nice long cord that just stays out of the way. Keep that guy charged. Its battery life is okay. Though when you don't have it hooked in, I've noticed that it has some time kind of like getting back on track. You can't just move your mouse and it's moving. It has to warm up a little bit. Otherwise, this really sleek. Honestly, the Xbox One X controllers are really fantastic for gaming. This is the first time that I've had a gaming controller right out of the box, not like custom made, that I've been like, this actually feels good for my giant man hands. So it's like a nice aqua blue, fits my aesthetic. It's actually got almost like a pistol grip, just like, and that's just how they come on the bottom there. And then you've actually got nice little lines for your thumbs to feel comfortable and know what direction you're moving them. Same grip on those joysticks. Nice recessed pad here if you're playing something like Guilty Gear or Street Fighter and you want to use the pad, which I do. Buttons are really just nice and glossy. And it's got really nice click to it. Same thing with the triggers. Triggers are super duper nice on these. And it's a USB-C charge. So I pretty much just kind of keep it hooked in with a nice extra long USB-C cord. And I have literally no input delay. So I would highly recommend, picking that up if you like to use a console controller on your PC games. It's what I've done everything for Elden Ring with, and anytime that something has controller support, I immediately pick that guy up.
Excellent. Green, how about you? You're muted.
Oh no, my most reliable favorite gaming accessory, or
Just
my favorite gaming accessory, of course, is the Logitech G604. I've got big bare hands. This is my second one because they use some knockoff Omron switches from China. So they don't have the same life expectancy as the Japanese ones. Which I did a whole video on, or a whole stream where I replaced those switches on the other one. But that's now my gaming mouse in my bedroom PC. This is the replacement. For the price, it regularly goes on sale now to like $60-$70. But usually it's at like the $99 price range. It's very solid. The battery lasts months without changing it out. One single AA battery, which I just have a charging station next to me that I just put some rechargeable batteries in it when I need to. So this is no like flashy thrills with it. It does not have RGB because it's wireless. That's why the battery lasts forever and a half.
Mm-hmm.
Very hefty, but not super heavy. And yeah, it has 6 buttons on the side, two extra buttons on the top. Feels good in the hand, grips nice. It's my favorite mouse. When it replaced the old school Logitech G700S, the only reason I swapped this out is because this is an optical drive instead of an actual laser, or a laser instead of an optical drive. So it's really outdated and has noticeable difference with input lag than like the new mouses. So mice. Mises.
Mises.
So yeah, Logitech G604. Even with having to get it replaced, which Logitech did for free, by the way, and it was, I believe, it was out of warranty. They still replaced it for free and told me to just fucking throw it away, which I just repaired. But anyway, yeah, Logitech got me with that one.
Nice.
I'm kind of in the same boat as you right now, Green, talking about a mouse. So I had to replace my crummy. Actually, yeah, I replaced it. I still keep it for like when I have to work from home and stuff. But I had to replace my previous mouse, my like $30 Logitech mouse. So I went with the the SteelSeries Rival 3 wireless. it's been my most recent like tech pickup. I don't have like I don't do a ton of like tech buying. Other than that, like this display behind me here was made with Monster Smart Luminance lights, which I have kind of fought with. I can't really get them to work as intended yet, but it's it feels good in the hand. It's slick on my pad, which is nice. And yeah, otherwise it's pretty light, and I don't really it feels good. It's a really serviceable mouse, so that's what I picked up.
Nice, nice.
So guys, let us know in the live chat or in the comments of this YouTube video or on Spotify your answer to the question of this week. And I think we can kind of just get into our first topic, which is Boundary. At least my first impressions of Boundary. Yeah, so Boundary, the demo was available up on the Steam Next Fest. For those who haven't seen it yet, Boundary is a first-person shooter that is set in the near future and takes place in space. And I want to be really clear about it. It's not like space as in Star Wars or Mass Effect, right? It's space as in what's above our heads right now, like Earth orbit space. The game requires Windows 10 64-bit Intel Core, i5 4430 or an AMD FX 6300, an NVIDIA GeForce 1060, 6 gigs or equivalent, and 30 gigs of space on your hard drive. It's also going to be available on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, according to Google, so I'm also going to assume it's going to be available on PlayStation 5 and the new Xbox consoles as well. The game offers a few different classes, like Assault, Engineer, and Healer, with a variety of weapons. Though in this demo, I didn't really notice a huge difference between the classes, and I mostly forgot about the abilities. And I'm going to offer some feedback to the devs on that later. The guns in the game, kind of getting back into the gameplay, guns in the game were pretty fun. They had good feedback. They felt good. They sounded good. The sound design in this game is really interesting because you're supposed to be in a vacuum, right? So sound doesn't travel well in a vacuum. So the sound design of this game is really interesting and fun to play in because it's like, yeah, I'm actually in a spacesuit. I'm not really hearing much. There was some weapon customization as well, although it was pretty standard stuff that you would have expected to see in like Call of Duty, Modern Warfare, or any of the Call of Duty games. There was, at least from the demo, there was one map that we were playing. It was basically a really large space center or space station, which you can see on the screen right now. Really felt like they stole it right from Kennedy Space Center. Like it feels like you were like playing in a replica that you would find at a NASA site. The zero-G combat of this game makes you look at the map in a totally different way, though, because you are really fighting in a 3D environment. People can come from below you. They can come from above you. They can come from either side and from every which angle, more so than other games, where a lot of games, of course, are like, in 3D environments, but the verticality is dependent upon what's in the map. And maybe you'll have some enemies or allies that can fly, right? If you're thinking like Overwatch, where, you have like a Pharah or a Mercy or something like that, that they can fly, right? But this game is very like omnidirectional. Everything is around you and you are in danger from every angle. There's some other stuff about, like, I would like to mention that just like in real space, you can rotate yourself 360 degrees. And so you can actually kind of change your perspective on the map by rotating yourself. Which, again, like I said, it just makes the game, it makes you look at the game in a lot in a different perspective than I think any other first person shooter really has you do right now. In the demo, there were 2 game modes, Domination and Hardcore TDM. I played mostly Domination, and it was pretty enjoyable. I had a lot of fun with this with Domination. I would love to see more and interesting game modes, but for a demo, this was fantastic. And I do look forward to seeing what they put out in full release. But I do want to give a little bit of feedback, and then I'll like give you guys some let you guys ask some questions here. So one thing I noticed, and that is, unless I'm a complete idiot, it didn't seem like any of the mute or lowering the VoIP input volume functions worked in this game. I had one guy with a totally open mic in the game, and I could hear him. Thankfully, he was only like breathing really hard and like had a mechanical keyboard that I could hear. But I was really concerned about that when I was streaming, because I didn't know what this guy was gonna, if he was gonna blurt out some racial slur or something like that. So that's something I hope gets fixed here pretty soon.
Real class act fella, huh?
Well, he was quiet. Like I said, he was just kind of mouth breathing and clicking on his keyboard the entire time. So thankfully nothing happened. But like that's always a concern of mine if the communication tools don't work, and if I can't cancel out the communication tools, like VoIP and stuff like that. Because obviously if I'm streaming, first off, I don't want to have to deal with that ever, right? I don't want to have to deal with somebody being toxic and saying awful fucking things. Like I just, I don't want to have to deal with that. I especially don't want to have to deal with that when I'm streaming, when I'm technically responsible for things that happen on my stream. So other than that, that tool needs to kind of get fixed or make sure that that works. Some gameplay stuff, I would actually consider adding more prompts for abilities and tools or functions in the gameplay itself, because like I said, I forgot about the abilities, and for new players, where some of those abilities are going to be, kind of crucial to learning to be competent at the game, having prompts on like, remember to use your boost, or, place, you have an enemy, or you have an ally that's in danger, put a healing station down. Stuff like that would be appreciated. And then this isn't really like specific feedback, but rather a concern that I have, which is the game has a really strong premise in its setting, but I wonder how far it can carry that, because while the game modes are fun and great for the time I played them, is there anything that they have planned to keep players returning regularly outside of like weapon progression? I could see it being, a cult FPS like Insurgency Sandstorm or Splitgate, but maybe not having mass appeal. So that is a concern I have for the game, is what is going to be there to bring players back every day. Otherwise, I think it's going to end up in kind of like a cult status. But yeah, do you guys have thoughts, questions, opinions on some of the stuff I described here?
Oh, go ahead. You go ahead.
You go ahead. I'm trying to formulate I don't want to sound like an idiot about my lack of space knowledge.
Well, my question is, since it is set in space, is there any explanation of how, if you shoot another team, an enemy, right, in space, mind you, with a bullet that will pierce their suit, how it's not just a single one-shot kill?
Oh, so
they explain that at all?
I don't think they explain that, but there is a function where you do have to patch up your suit. So it'll actually like flash a warning, and if you don't patch up your suit within a certain amount of time, you will die. So I'm going to assume, okay, just an assumption, I'm going to provide them an explanation that the spacesuit is somehow segmented in different ways, that even if you lose your pressure or atmosphere or whatever you want to call it in, like, say your left arm, it's still vacuumed at like your shoulder and armpit to where your like the rest of your suit doesn't lose all that air. I don't know.
I don't
That's
know if that's how that works, Danny. You
Mm.
still, you'd have to just like full on chop the arm off and seal. Like it just I feel like there needs to be some like explanation of like from the game of like, well, there doesn't need to be. It's just I'm just being a stickler. I think the
as
game looks great. I just the concept in my mind is like, if you shoot someone in the face in their visor and there's a hole in that visor, they're they're gone. It's not gonna look pretty either. Like, like I'm just saying.
Nah, it looks crazy. I'm just trying to think about like what would bring, like kind of like you said, like what would bring somebody back past like the initial we floating around. You know what I'm saying? So we're floating around, and I just wonder what how it would keep people entertained long term. You know?
yeah, like there's always like that, like Hunt Showdown or Escape from Tarkov, where
Yeah.
it's like you wanna play because you want to get better gear and better characters and be able to, like, wreck house because you put the time in to be able to wreck house. Any sort of battle royale, it's always, I want to be that number one. This game has that problem where it's like, okay, I'm going to be number one for that leaderboard. It has that issue of being an old school TDM that just doesn't,
Mm.
you know, I which was fine, 10 years ago, but in this current market, I don't know if that's going to work out for them.
Probably a ranked would be a
Yeah.
solid idea.
Like a like
But
a
then again, this like a ranked playlist.
Yeah, with
Yeah.
like search and destroy maybe.
Yeah. But I mean, that's we're only talking about the demo here too. Like
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
there could be stuff that's coming with the full release.
Yeah.
Was
Yeah.
there a good player base during the demo?
Yeah, I didn't have any problem getting into the games. I am kind of curious. Let's see. Let me see if SteamDB has any sort of information on it. Not sure if I'll be able to find it, but I'll check. Yeah, it's currently scheduled. While I'm looking for it, I will say it is currently scheduled for a 2022 release, so I'm assuming towards the end of the year. I haven't seen any pricing information, but if I had to guess, it's probably going to be somewhere between $20 to $30, and I think that would be a fair price for this game. And I would probably pay for that anywhere between $15 and $30. $40 and higher, I probably wouldn't go for it. Yeah, I'm not seeing any information, so I can pull SteamDB. Let me try just the demo page. Yeah, I'm not seeing that information, so I can't tell you exactly what it peaked at right now. But yeah,
Is it a day one though? Is it a day one?
Yeah, that's it. It depends on what they add. That's gonna be the big thing to see, like in the final release. I'm not sure if this would be a day one. Again, depending on what they add. I think $15 to $30 is gonna be fair. I think for most people, it'd probably be like a sale pickup. Maybe something kind of like probably comparable to Rising Storm Vietnam,
Okay.
where
Mhm.
that's a game a lot of people will pick up for because it's on sale and stuff like that, and then they'll play it and start playing or start singing "Fortunate Son" while they're in
Right.
the
Yeah.
rice fields. um, so yeah, again, I think that would be the fair price for it. I probably wouldn't pick it up for $40 day one. It's questionable as to what they add. I'm
Mm,
gonna.
okay.
I would remain tentative on that in its current state. Uh,
I'm a first person shooter guy, so I'm always looking for something. Like I played Splitgate for a while, then I just kind of forgot about it. But that's what I'm always looking for.
yeah, so we did when Splitgate first got released. We had a conversation with somebody on it. I went back to Splitgate for a little bit. I think I did maybe 4 or 5 streams with it, and just
Mm,
like not enough had changed with it to me even warranting going back and talking about it again. Uh, and it's a fun game, but it's got just that cult following of like there's not much really going on here, and I could understand why people really like it, but it doesn't hold my attention.
mm,
Um, but Hunt Showdown remained like that for a very long time, and there's been I don't know over the last 3 months, a lot of people have said that Hunt Showdown is going to be a sleeper hit for 2022. Like it's just been like that slow, steady burn. So it could very well, Splitgate could very well have that going for it too. It Boundary
mm.
could too.
Hunt has a new event coming up.
Yeah.
Yeah, love that game. If you haven't, Eric, if you haven't tried out Hunt Showdown as a first-person shooter player,
I
very
haven't.
much
It's on Steam.
It's
Let me
it
see.
is on Steam, and usually it's on sale. I think normal price is $40, and then
Yeah.
a lot of the times it'll be half off. But I have said this before. I'll say it again. It's worth like every penny. I love that game.
I'm on it. I am in there.
Um,
I'm already here.
any other thoughts or opinions on Boundary?
No, it looks interesting. As I said, though, it just depends on what they can actually bring to the table in
Yeah.
terms of longevity.
Yeah, I mean, if it's just team deathmatch and it's like full of, like weird little quality of life issues like open mics, mouth breathers and crap like that, like I could see it kind of dying out pretty quick, especially if you only have like say the one map and you're just kind of floating around, you know. Um as far as like the nerds out there being like, but how's your suit this time? Blah, 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 blah. This is probably going to be tons of that all over
Shut
the
up,
place.
Danie. It was just a question, Danie.
Yo, so like explain to
every-
me how hyperspace works with the Millennium Falcon, bro. Let's take turns. I'll talk about Mass Effect drives.
Real quick.
The way it works is the suspension of disbelief.
So I do want to real quick. There is something that you kind of mentioned there with like the longevity. I'm also
Mm.
curious to like how many maps they can feasibly come up with and how they can be different,
Right.
right?
Mm.
Because like the core concept is 0G
Mm-hmm.
and
So
spacesuits and gun.
yeah, so it's like, all right, we got our like International Space Center map. I guess next is a comet map
That'd be
or
kind of cool with
asteroid
like
map.
terrain stuff. Like, you might get like creamed by an asteroid. That'd be kind of cool. But I could
Like-
also see people just getting super salty about it.
Yeah, like maybe a moon base map.
About to say they
Moon
got to
base would
put
be
you
good.
on the moon.
Yeah.
They got to put you on the moon at some point.
You
Yeah.
could do like a space frigate, do an indoor thing with like cargo crates and stuff like that. And, just again, suspension of disbelief, a bullet that misses a person hitting the hull of the ship, it should just start, vacuum straw people through the hole. But, like there's things that they could do. It'd be, I'm interested. It's definitely different. I don't need to play Call of Duty for like the 37th time with a different skin on it.
Yeah.
In the defense of the audio issues, I don't think I've ever played a demo of the game that didn't have like some sort of audio issue, like especially like changing volumes on something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
so-
that's just again like to offer the feedback and to like make sure that it was like aware. I'm sure like they probably were already aware of that issue. They probably in their current build have that patched. But just something I wanted to mention so that it's like if we get to release and that issue hasn't been fixed, I already said it.
Okay.
Mhm.
So
You should definitely clip this and send it to them with your
Yeah.
name on it. Like, yo, fix it. Now.
I'll take my royalties in cash only. Thank you.
Mhm.
For real.
Um,
Yeah, otherwise,
but
the tens of people that have heard this will point their fingers at you.
You don't want those problems.
I do want
We
to
got a
clarify.
crowd.
I want to clarify since Mendachi brought up the suspension of disbelief. Okay,
Yes.
this game looks like it's set in near future
Hmm.
realistic realism, right? Like
Right.
you could see this happening in 10 years with, Space Force, the United States Space Force,
Hmm.
right? Maybe versus like another superpower that's also in space, like Russia, right?
Yeah.
Mm.
So
All of this.
versus like Mass Effect or Star Wars, they're like
Okay.
literally
Interstellar.
future, yeah, like
Interstellar, or like Space Odyssey,
or
or
like
The Martian.
exactly. So like I'm not saying don't suspend disbelief. I'm just saying like I
Hmm.
was asking, do they actually like state a reason why this happens? Like as like a
Mm,
lore piece. Like is there any information of like what's going on? Is there like a campaign, something like that that will be planned for the full release, et cetera, et cetera.
mm-hmm. Gotcha. Yeah, no, I didn't see any of that information. I will say, all the names of the characters are oddly Slavic, we'll say.
Interesting.
Mm.
Interestingly Slavic.
Ah.
Oddly enough, Eastern European.
Mm-hmm. A lot of skis and itches, I believe.
Any Covs in
Mm.
there?
I think there's a Cov in there. Yeah.
There's a
Definitely's
couple
got to be a
Covs.
cough.
Ivanovsky, Ivanakov.
Yeah, yeah.
um, so yeah, that's Boundary, and kind of moving on. I know we kind of already did some like tech pickup, like a little bit of like our favorite ones, but um, just because it's not very often that we have someone who like solely focuses on tech for their content. I would
Mm.
just love to talk like some tech pickups, um, some things that you've been seeing lately, some trends, some things to avoid, anything like that you want to like share with our audience.
Well, it's funny when you guys were talking about the stuff that you picked up, and I was like, why don't I talk about some of the things? Like, I just got one of those Xbox controllers. Like, I literally just got a new mouse. Um, I have a headset though that I'm struggling with how I'm going to do the review because it's a $400 headset.
Whoa.
Exactly.
But is it cool though?
So they actually have like this 3D audio type of thing that they're trying to that you can set up, and like when you're setting up the demo and you move your head, it'll show how your head is moving, and I guess that's supposed to play out in the game, but you don't get that. Like I didn't feel like bullets were coming past my head or anything like that. And then as far as audio, it just sounds like a headphone. So I'm just like, where is the other $150, $200 worth of tech in this pair of headphones, man? But it's from a company, Audi's. So Audi's has a lot of like high quality audiophile headphones. Some of their headphones are, next level, and these are planar magnetic. So I'm kind of on the verge of doing. I don't like to do these on my channel too much. I'm kind of on the verge of doing one of those stay the hell away from this videos. Just because there's no way to justify it. $400 is ridiculous. It's not worth it. Plain and simple.
That sounds similar to like the Razer's HapSense, which like are they calling it HapSense or are they calling it HyperSense? I'm not sure. I
I'll
almost
double
picked up
check
a
for you while you go on.
yeah, but I know like the new, I think it's the Nagaras are gonna have this HapSense or HyperSense, where it's supposed to
Hypersense.
like HyperSense, yeah. So it's like a rumble feedback and stuff like that in the headset. And I
Mm.
feel like the highest I saw of those are like $300. So it's
I
yeah, a
mean,
little.
to me, if it was giving me like that audiophile quality music, Like if I'm listening to music and hearing things like I never heard before. But I mean, I have other headphones that these sound just as good as, and those are, under $100. So I'm like, it's kind of like using the name, the saying Planner Magnetic and everything, but I'm not getting it. I ain't getting a $400 pair of headphones out of these, and they keep asking me about it. just, I'm pretty like I'm close to either just sending it back or just like roasting them in a video. So maybe I'll leave it up to you guys. What should I do? Should I roast the hell out of them, or should I just be like, y'all can have these
We
back? I don't.
Next to Nothing has a very strong stance in transparency.
Mm,
So personally, I would say like if you had a bad experience with them or you don't think they lived up to what you thought they would be, then I would say that's what you should do. Because
Buyer
like
beware for
you could
sure.
be, yeah, you could be. You're definitely not going to be the only person that's going to buy these. Like
yeah.
so if you can say, hey, I bought these. I don't think they're worth the $400. And that's definitely something that needs to be heard.
But on the opposite end, I definitely picked up something. Well, I'm reviewing it and I'm taking a look, and I don't know if I'm going to send this back. I'm looking at it right now. It's a 50-inch super ultra wide monitor on my desk that just looks ridiculous, but I'm one day in love with it. Like I think it's in competition with my dog right now. Like,
Oh,
you know what I'm saying, of where the love is, you know what I'm saying, that she pees on stuff. So I'm really thinking this, I don't have to clean up after this at all. It's just it's sitting up here looking great. So I don't know. I think that is a pickup that I'm really enjoying so far. And I'm supposed to send it back, but they might have to pry this one out of my like cold dead hands.
Real
Yeah,
quick in the
don't blame
live
you.
Yeah, in the live chat, I linked off your tweet with the photo of the 50-inch,
Ah,
the 32 by 9 monitor.
yeah,
Uh,
man.
it's so wild.
Shout out to Scepter. Shout out to Scepter, man. They've sent me a bunch of their monitors here. And I've tried a few. And this one just has a lot of stuff. It's 50-inch, 32 by 9, 120 hertz, 1440p. Um, it's a VA panel, but it's actually got some pretty solid colors. So, I got the chat over here and stuff over here, and then I had Premiere up in the background, and I just was playing with it, just seeing how many different screens that I could put up at the same time. It's next level. It's absolutely absurd.
Yeah, any other like maybe smaller tech pickups
Mm.
that you've had lately, or any like other trends that you've been noticing?
Well, I kind of want to do. I know you mentioned it, my Five Below video. I kind of want to start doing more of those, man. It's interesting where you find tech at. So, like, if you go into like Big Lots, there's like PC gaming stuff, at Big Lots. So I'm like, I just want to pick all of it up and see if it's worth it, because I know how it is. Like, what started this is I was in like a Dollar General one day and I saw that they had gaming stuff, and it was near Christmas. And I went back the next day and all of it was gone. So I'm thinking of like, there's some kids out there or whoever with Dollar General gaming keyboards and stuff. And I'm like, I want to be able to say, hey, this is something you should pick up, or stay the hell away. Don't do it. Please don't do it. Like, even as a gift, don't
Yeah,
do it.
I've shopped a lot at a discount store. There was a discount store in my town that I used to work at. That they got like a bunch of their stuff from like drivers, like truck drivers, that like they were
Mm,
damaged boxing. But they essentially got the stuff for dirt cheap from the truck drivers because they couldn't like turn them into wherever they're going, or they're like returns from something.
yeah.
Um, and like I went there, I bought a bunch of like they had a lot of phone chargers and stuff like that. I've bought Skull Candy headphones from them that were
Mm.
they were damaged, and I made a ticket to Skull Candy and got them replaced for
Oh
free.
wow. Oh wow.
I got wireless Skull Candy headphones for like $5.
That's
Sick.
with
crazy.
some extra steps. So you'll be surprised where you can find like good cheap tech.
My wife was literally just telling me about we have something called the bin store opened up here. It's like one of those places that they sell like Halloween stuff, and then the rest of the year they put different businesses in there.
Mm,
And
yeah.
so it's called like the bin store or something where everything in these bins is discounted or cheap. So I'm thinking about just running in there and seeing what kind of tech I could find, and doing a haul for that. So that might be a future upcoming video that I just talked myself into right now while we're on the podcast.
It you mentioned Five Below, well, because I mentioned it earlier, but we have one not too far from where I live. So we
Mhm.
went in, and I didn't realize, is it Booga, like the 16-year-old who made like $1 million playing Fortnite, has like his own like tech line that they sell out of Five Below. I don't know if it's like exclusive to Five Below, but like you can get, they have like a RGB PC riser for like your monitor, so you can like
Oh,
rise it up and like have like extra space on your desk, some monitors and stuff like that. They have a lot of LED strips as well, like RGB LED strips. I bought one. They're not great, uh like at all. I just decided I got like the 5-footer and put it on the back of our 50-inch TV in our living room, and looks okay. Not like the best thing in the world, but it adds a little life into the room.
no, all the stuff that I bought from there was I don't know how to say the name, saying Booga or
Booga, yeah, it's like
Booga, yeah.
Bugha.
I learned about him from that stuff. I was like, oh man, I mean, you get in, it was a bunch of products too. So I think I bought a pair of desktop speakers with a woofer for $10. Uh,
Wow.
what was it? There was some headphones. Those weren't Booga stuff. Those were just general like headphones. They were trash. Um, I bought a couple other things. I bought a mic. Oh, they had one of those one hand gaming keyboards. Then I had a gaming mouse and like an LED strip or something. And it had a whole section. There was a whole section. I was like, whoever this kid is, I hope he's getting the royalties because his name was on everything.
There's a section in Five Below where you can RGB your bathroom too, like your
Yeah,
sink, toilet, everything RGB.
yeah.
But I did have a question about the headset. Were they the cat ear ones? Because you can get those at Five Below too. I don't know if they're an attachment for your headphones or if they're an actual like headset with cat ears.
Man, the ones I got, they were just some plain. What happened? So what spawned that video is I was at work one day and one of my coworkers just had on a pair of Bluetooth headphones, and I probably have like 20 to 30 around here. So I'm asking her, I'm like, "Yo, what are those? Where'd you get those from?" And she's like, "I got them from Five Below, and they're better than the Sonys and everything that I've had." And so she's like, "You want to hear them?" And I put them on my head, and they were like, I was like, "Yo, I'm sorry, but these are trash. This is like the worst sounding headphone I've ever had." But, I didn't want to crush her spirit because I just looked in her eyes and she had that tear of happiness that she was just so excited with these headphones. And so I was like, let me go to Five Below and see what they have in there. And some of the stuff, like I still use, like they had a LED mouse pad with the color around it that I still use. Those speakers, the little $10 desktop speakers, they weren't amazing, but for $10, if don't have any speakers, I mean, you can't really do better than that. And there was like a LED bar that just not very bright, not amazing, but if you set it to a color, it looks nice on the desk. So I kept that. So they do have some stuff.
Yeah. I will say, like, Five Below is definitely like the Zoomers store. Like, it is very much meant for Gen Z with all the RGB, and when like you go to like the home decor section, because when we went, we actually ended up buying a few things like these triangle shelves, but it's all like seagrass. So you stick the point of the triangle into the corner of your wall, and then you nail it up so it just is there. and because my girlfriend has too many goddamn plants, that's what we bought them for. Um, but yeah,
Don't
it's
let
just
her
like,
hear you say that, by the way.
oh, she's heard me say that. She's
Those are her babies.
those are her babies.
She
Uh,
knows you don't like those plants, and she doesn't care.
Oh, this is just kind of funny because, so I thought I'd be cute for Valentine's Day, and I made a homemade card. I went into Photoshop and designed a card, and then I'm like, I'm also gonna design a little coupon here, and on the coupon I said 1 free plant of your choice, and she looks at it and she goes, you didn't put limit 1 or one-time use only or cannot be
Mm.
replicated, cannot be transferred. I'm like, what? She's like, I'm just gonna go to work and scan a bunch of these. So
Yo, she hit you with the loophole.
she
Yo,
did.
that's fire. Salute to her. Next time, tell her I appreciate the hustle. That
She's gonna treat you like the customer service desk at Best Buy.
Yep.
yes.
She's
All
gonna
right,
get
my-
so much out of you.
My fiance goes with her to IKEA frequently, and every time that they're there, she keeps talking her out of a giant tree.
Yeah. Yeah.
A tree. She wants to buy a tree and drive 3 hours with it in the back of the car.
Yeah. And then you come home and walk right into the tree, and you can't say nothing. You just like, oh, there's a tree
Yep.
here.
Yep. That is the woman I love. Anything else like on like where to get tech, where not to get tech, anything like that?
I'm working on it. I think some of the videos that I'm working on with some of these different hauls, I mean, because people have done like the AliExpress, Banggood, and some of those places you could get some good stuff, but I want to shop at places that people still go to and say like, hey, if I put the video, because I've seen that, like I did a dollar store, like the actual like $1 store tech haul, and people still, come to that video and say, hey, I'm using dollar store headphones right now. I wish I would have seen this beforehand. I'm like, look, I know you may not have a lot of money, but that's what my channel is all about. Like, hopefully, if you don't have a lot of money, I could point you in the direction of something that's going to last and actually be worth spending your little bit of money on, because I don't have a lot of money. And I want to make sure I get something worthwhile for it.
And I think what's great is that our philosophies align pretty well on that. That was kind of the mission statement of me even starting this podcast, which is fantastic. It's fantastic when other people have that goal too.
Danie K is probably one of the most frugal people I've ever met.
True facts. True facts.
All right, let's go on ahead. If you guys don't mind, let's take a quick break. We'll come back, talk the Apple peak performance event, and then Sony State of Play. Guys, we'll be back in 2 minutes. Stay right there.
Hello, Danie is being lazy and has decided to have a text-to-speech robot record this message for you instead of doing it himself. He wants you to know that you can help support the show by telling your friends. Telling your friends about the show helps us grow and help more people save money while gaming. It's also free. You can tweet about us, share us on Facebook, or even send a message directly to your friends and family with a link to the show. Don't forget to like and subscribe on YouTube, or leave a comment. That helps tell the algorithm that you like this kind of content and would recommend it. Thanks for watching and listening. The show will resume in just a few moments. P.S. Green Elite has bad taste in Pokemon.
And we're back, guys. Thank you for letting us take that break. I think there we go. Sorry, my brain fried out there as I went to go change things around. Let's talk about the Apple Peak Performance event. So, Apple held its Peak Performance event last week, which piqued our interests. Huh?
No.
No?
Go. Find the door, bruh.
Okay.
Man.
I'll be fine. Tough room. I got it. Tip your waitress. Try the veal.
Yeah. That's just okay, Dad. What happened to the Apple Peak Performance, Dad?
To be honest, not, at least in my opinion, not a ton. So we got a new iPhone SE, which is getting an upgrade to the A15 Bionic chip, and it's getting 5G. It's going to keep the home button and Touch ID, and it's going to retail for $429 American. It's
Gonna reduce that down $9 for the lulz. I know. If you're gonna be anything Apple, at least be a little hip. Damn.
do it for the memes.
I'll tell you this. I actually, and people that know me, they think I'm an Apple hater. I'm not. I just I've never picked up an Apple device and just like cried like some of the people do. They just be like, "Oh, this is the most beautiful piece of tech ever," and I'm like, "Okay, it's just a gray slab." But I'll say this: if I was going to get anything from this event, it would probably be an iPad, because I just haven't. I don't use tablets a lot, but the few like Android ones that I've had, it just don't live up to it. So that would be it, unless I can find a way to expense a full Mac Studio at work, and I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah. Well, you mentioned the iPad. The new iPad Air is getting an M1 chip, 5G connectivity, and some other updated features, and that's going to retail for $600.
I do have to agree with that. I've had Samsung tablets before, the Samsung Tab and Samsung Galaxy, the big one.
Mm-hmm.
My fiance's iPad Pro is so much better than those.
It really is, man.
It's now my manga machine, because she doesn't use it much anymore, because I bought it for her for school, through her nursing school, because she liked to write out her notes, but also be able to transfer between her Mac and her iPad Pro, because she's an Apple person. And like every college is like an Apple place now. But yeah, the iPad Pro, like it just feels good reading like a big ass page of manga on it through like Kindle or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you're reading a panel that has your waifu, do you go on ahead and just zoom in on that too?
Absolutely.
Do we do like one of these motions
in full Retina display. That's Android.
Oh, you can't screenshot
that.
like that on.
Yeah, no. That's proprietary Android. That's next future stuff right folder. There. Yeah, that's future tech that Apple never thought about.
Yeah.
Like
speaking of which, how about
facial...
them USB-Cs though?
On what are you referring to?
Oh, that like they were talking about how they were gonna get 2 times faster charge times, and like faster load times for files and stuff like that, because they're upping their cord tech game as well.
Oh, in the lightning?
Yes.
In the lightning cables?
Yeah. They're like, it's the USB-C port. I'm like, just welcome.
Oh, welcome. I got you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, in a big...
It's been great up here, folks, for the last 4 fucking years.
Yeah. Well, a big part of that is because like the EU has been breathing down Apple's neck to change and to conform to the rest of the industry, because it's just like so much e-waste and stuff like that goes into it. But Eric, you also mentioned the Mac Studio.
Yeah.
Which is going to come with the Apple M1 Ultra, which is 2 M1 Max processors just slapped together. That's how I read it. Was like I think it was The Verge that I was reading, that they're just like, yeah, the Ultra, because of how the Max is built, you can just kind of like stack them on top of each other essentially and get a mega processor. So yeah, it's going to come with that M1 Ultra. Apple is saying that it should have performance comparable or better to the Mac Pro, and it's going to retail for a nice clean $2,000 American.
Whoa, bro.
That's actually technically cheaper. I wonder how it performs to like the standard Threadripper, AMD Threadripper. Because
have you seen the full spec'd out one
on the Studio?
Yeah, 8K. Like when you spec it all the way out.
Oh my
8K.
God,
oh yeah.
Is it gonna take my ass to work? Is it gonna pick me up Burger King, dude? Like,
so yeah,
no, I don't need it.
Then it would definitely be more feasible to just build like a Threadripper like Studio PC than deck out a Mac Studio, in my opinion, because I think like the bottom line Threadripper is you can put together for about 4K.
Yeah. So I'm looking at the website right now. So for the fully spec'd out studio, this is like the $4,000 one. It's a 20 core CPU, 48 core GPU, 32 core neural engine, 64 gigs of unified memory, 1 terabyte SSD storage. You get two Thunderbolt 4 ports, one SDXC card slot. In the back, you get 4 Thunderbolt 4 ports, 2 USB-A ports, 1 HDMI port, 1 10 gig Ethernet port, and a 3.5 millimeter headphone jack.
It's ridiculous.
That's
Apple brought back the 3.5 millimeter headphone jack.
Well, I mean, this is a computer, right?
McKenna's iPad, a Mac does not have a 3.5.
Well, this is like essentially like a little desktop, right? This is their if you remember the Mac Minis, very similar form factor.
Yeah.
This has except it's got a more like it's got like a slightly cone-shaped base that is supposed to have some cool cooling technology that I don't really believe in, because Apple's cooling technology never seems to be on their computers, at least never seems to be what they say it is.
I'm just thinking at the full spec'd out one, that thing is either going to be super loud or it's not really doing anything. Like one of the two. Like that's a small body right there. And as someone who's dabbled in like small PCs, that's going to be impossible to cool without like. That's going to be nuts. If it really is 20 cores and 32 cores and all of that, it's probably not doing nothing, or it's some kind of Apple magic that only they understand.
I wouldn't be surprised if that would need like liquid cooling.
Yeah,
that's ridiculous.
Let me drop
Watch it start a Range Rover on fire, dude. Just watch it start someone's car on fire.
Oh yeah, no, that's too tight. That's ooh.
So
and they charge $2,000 for an 8 terabyte SSD.
Yeah, but it's the gateway into the software. That's what you're paying for. It's the gateway into the software.
Shut
Fucking
up.
eye roll, dude. Eye roll.
Can't wait to surf Facebook on Safari. Oh my god. Great.
Splendid.
I can't wait.
I mean, it definitely is. It's. I know people who are like fanboys and they need to have the latest and greatest, and I'm like, you literally are on Facebook. That's what you're doing.
Yeah.
You update everyone. You haven't produced or done anything productivity wise in 3 years, but every new Apple device you're updated to the newest one. And I'm just
you just wouldn't understand the Mac life, bro. It's the Mac life.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah. So the last thing I was going to mention here was the studio display, which was also shown off. That's a 27-inch with 5K Retina display. It's going to have the A13 Bionic chip in it. Bionic. I have it's probably a typo here. Anyways, it's going to have the A13 chip in it, so it can process iPad like features. It's going to also be touchscreen. So it's going to have.
Does this pair with the studio PC?
Supposed to, yeah.
Okay, and I'm assuming sold separately.
Okay. So I think it's going to be compatible with all other like Mac devices that are similar to the studio, but I think it was designed specifically to be paired with the studio. It's going to have a built-in 12 megapixel webcam and multiple mics for video conferencing. So I guess if you're really wanting to flex on the plebeians in your office, you can do that. And it's going to have a base price of $1,600 USD with a VESA edition that's going to be, I think, even more.
Oh my goodness. Of course they're going to charge extra for a base amount.
Yeah. The only thing here that for me, that kind of offers anything is maybe the iPhone SE. I'm still rocking the X. I'm not like super sold on Apple products. They're just what I happen to have bought. And so sometimes it's just like a convenience thing that is what I'm gonna stick with. So I don't know. If anything else, I mean, obviously everything else is like out of my pay range here. Like I'm not gonna be financing a fucking Mac Studio.
I'm waiting for the day that Apple switches to like, if you can buy this Mac Tower, right? But the power button is sold separately,
Oh
and the
wow.
case is sold separately. Because they've already done it with the phones. Like, if you want the charger for the phone, you had to buy the charger, and they're stating it was for reducing box waste, right? But like they
And
sell,
e-waste.
yeah. So they sell the charger, which is a USB-C input. Right. So like, if you want the fast charging, you have to buy the new charger, right? And that also comes in a box. You know, like,
Ooh,
it's just,
a box.
I feel like it's a huge gimmick for Apple to be able to separate in essentially a la carte things.
Yeah.
So that's,
The
I never
fact that you could
recommend Apple.
spend, yeah, like the fact that you could spend $2,000 and not have everything that you need.
The fact that on the display, so I was watching the event, right? And so when you buy the base display, it can tilt forward and back, right? The $400 upgrade is just so that you can raise it and tilt it at the same time. I was like,
Oh my God.
$400 for it's literally looks like a little piece of metal like this that would change it. I said that is, but there's going to be somebody who justifies it. It's like, yo, I need that, gotta have it,
Yeah.
and that's why they can keep doing it.
That
Yeah.
hurts my soul. Genuinely hurts my soul.
And then we'll watch Linus Tech Tips break one of them, and he'll have to call
Drop one on the floor.
drop it on the floor, and then Lewis Rossman will have to help him fix it. I'm calling it now.
Oh, I can see that.
It's gonna
I can
happen.
see
It's
that.
gonna happen again. Okay. Anything else with the Apple Peak Performance event? There's like, it was pretty disappointing even for an Apple event.
I think I had one high-pitched whistle coming out of my mouth the entire 6 or 9 minutes or however long that it went on for, just consistently the whole time.
Oh, I mean, it went longer for that. I just sent you guys the supercut.
Yeah, the supercut was much appreciated.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was like, watching the game highlights. That was pretty cool. I like that because
I can't sit through and watch Apple events all the way through.
No,
They
no.
they absolutely drive me crazy. They just are so long-winded and just meh. I'm like,
Filled with buzzwords, dude. It's like literally reading all of the internet articles at the same time and just like looking at 1,002 Getty images of happy people in a workplace environment.
yeah.
Remember when Steve Jobs used to come out on the stage and be like, in his jeans and
In his
turtleneck
Yeah.
that's like tucked in, and just like,
His invisible glasses.
how would you like to call people and touch the screen? You know, like that kind of shit. And then we go from that, like the glory days, to like mind-numbing droll
Yeah.
over like an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Nostalgia.
Yeah. Well, from one mind-numbing droll to another, let's talk about the Sony
Yeah.
State of Play for March 2022.
Yay.
So last week, Sony had another State of Play where they showed off some previously announced games and some new stuff. So let's talk about it. That's what we're here to do. like I said, a lot of unexciting stuff here. We got a new trailer and probably the last one for Ghostwire Tokyo, which releases on the PS5 on the 25th of this month, so 10 days from now. I didn't watch it. I need to because Ghostwire Tokyo does have like my interest. I would love to watch some people play that. It looks pretty interesting. Um, and then Forspoken got another trailer. And to be quite honest, the game still looks blasé. Just
Mm.
like, it's a magical girl adventure. Sure, I'm sure someone would appreciate it. Have you guys? Do you guys feel any sort of way about Forspoken?
That was my first time seeing it, so I was like, okay. At first, it looked kind of interesting, but I was just like, I feel like I played that game before,
You
and I was just
have.
like,
Like it's a game that's come out, like 2000, 2002, 2005. Like it just kind of keeps getting recycled. To me, Forspoken is testing some things in an engine to see what they can do, and what the game is about is completely unimportant. It just has to look pretty. And with Ghostwire Tokyo, it looks cool. It's kind of a neat take on like a first person perspective, kind of FPS, because you're doing like, Shinto magic at ghosts and stuff.
yeah,
And like overall, like it looks neat. It's definitely something different from the guy who brought us Resident Evil and Evil Within. So like, I'd love to check it out if it was available on literally anything else. It also kind of looked like it was chugging a bit in their trailers, so I'm kind of like worried, uh, to see what optimization looks like for that. Forspoken is literally just, hey, look, it's a pretty place. You do pretty cool looking moves. Fucking shoulder shrug.
Yeah. Uh,
yeah,
and next was Exo Primal. That was announced. It's a game where you fight dinos wearing exosuits, and I'm just gonna say it. Okay, this
Hmm.
we care about intellectual integrity here on this show, and Capcom stole this game from Orion Prelude.
Yeah, this so my buddy that I do podcasts for two people on, Brent in the chat was like, "Hey, what was that Capcom game that was on State of Play that had not Regina from Dino Crisis?" Like all you folks out there that played Dino Crisis and like I think 2000, 2001, and then the following year played Dino Crisis 2. That was literally just, what if Resident Evil had dinosaurs and not zombies? I literally thought this was gonna be Dino Crisis 5, because there were others after that, and sadly it was Anthem with dinosaurs.
uh,
okay. I'm glad you said it because that's what when I was watching, I was like, I'm gonna say this. I've been a PC gamer since for the last like 10 years. So like I've had a console, the four and all of those, but I hardly ever play them. They end up becoming like gifts to my nephews and stuff. And I was just like,
Mhm.
okay, this can't be what's getting like console gamers hype. Like this is
Right,
some of this
yeah.
stuff. I was just like, what is this? But with that Exo Prime, I was like, the Ghostwire Tokyo looked pretty cool. Like I might, kind of how like you said, I might give the demo a try. Then if the demo's nice, pick it up.
Hmm.
Um, okay, Gundam Evolution. That just
yeah,
looked like Apex Legends and like Halo combined. Like it just, I didn't.
Right.
And
Or
then
like
you
kind
can't
of
even.
Rainbow Six a little bit. Like you can put up barriers and shit, and
And
like
then you can't
obviously
even
there's
see.
different classes.
You don't even get to see your own Gundam. So
Right.
like,
That's the whole thing, dude. Like if I'm playing as sick ass Gundam, I want to see it, and it's an FPS. What the
yeah.
hell, man?
I'll be honest. That was the one that I'm like, okay, I could actually kind of get behind this,
mm,
but like, yeah, I'm just like, the whole point of Gundam is to like see badass mechs.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah, I want to play Gundam Heavy Arms, dude, or like Death Scythe. And you're telling me that like if I'm playing them, all I got is my forearms and then my dumbass when I get killed. You
yeah,
know what I mean? Like the zoom out, like rip in peace. You
yeah.
looked cool, I guess.
Quick tangent. Greenleaf and I, when we went to 2D Con in Minneapolis over the summer, they had the Gundam arcade machines, like the big ones with like the
4-person seaters, yeah.
4-person seaters.
And
And
it's
we,
like 2v2, yeah.
yeah. We got
Yes.
absolutely trashed by 12-year-olds.
Oh yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Well, I would say they were. I think they were older than 12. But they definitely sauced us, and I feel like they were the people who brought the machine.
Yeah,
Because
They had their
yeah.
dads bringing it on a forklift.
They stomped us. Absolutely.
I don't know. Like I would all of a sudden just be dead, and
Yeah.
with no explanation why,
Yeah.
and I would look over and they'd be like high fiving each other like a 80s movie montage where they're just like gaming and just
That is slow
high-five.
motion.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, the Gundam Evolution game, that's gonna be free to play for PS4 and
Okay.
PS5 this year. So I mean, if anyone actually gets their hands on it and wants to tell us about it, that would be cool. For TMNT fans, you guys can rejoice because you're getting the Cowabunga collection this year, which is going to contain 13 retro arcade games.
I might pick that up.
Yeah, I'm definitely picking that up, dude. It's got literally all of the solid games, from like the single player ones to the 4-player arcades, which if you're a broad-shouldered bigger dude like me, playing a 4-player cabinet is like impossible.
We
Alright?
also did that at 2D Con. It was a nightmare.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like we're talking Turtles in Time, going to Chuck E. Cheese. Your dad's like, just go. Just go. and he just hands you like $50 in tokens. Yeah, man. I'm so ready to not disappoint my father anymore and enjoy Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Joke's on you. I will never not disappoint my father.
Oh my god.
I have a joke for this, but I don't want to say it.
Say it. You've
Do
already
it.
let on too much.
Do it.
I would definitely win because I don't know my father, so I wouldn't be able to disappoint.
It's okay, Eric. It's okay, Eric. Mine's dead. So
You know what's so funny? This is a wild tangent, but my nieces were playing like some game and they at their age and they just talk crazy to each other. And so they just cussed each other out, talking crazy to each other. And I came in there with I don't know my daddy's name bit. And they're like, you ruined the game. We can't even play. I was like, all right, my bad. I'm done.
We're just going dark. This is NTN After
Yeah.
Dark now.
No, but I'm definitely getting that the
Teenage
collection.
Mutant Ninja
Oh, man.
Turtles. Teenage Mutant Ninja
When I saw
Turtles.
that, I definitely was ready. I was like, yo, let me get that right now.
Real quick, in the chat, Cyberbrent, hell yeah, Dad Issues podcast.
Facts. Facts.
Next on the list I have here, and this is by no means like I didn't write down everything. Just the ones that I'm like, okay, like these are probably worth mentioning. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure All-Star Battle R. Say that 5 times fast.
No.
JoJo's Bizarre Adventure All-Star Battle R.
Yeah, that game looks so unoptimized, dude. It looks like it's physically tearing itself to pieces.
Yeah.
Skip. Skippity skip. What's the R stand for? Return this game, I think.
I think the whole premise of like JoJo in general is like nothing makes sense.
Right.
So like they had to translate that into the game somehow.
There's a character who has a stand that just makes your computer freeze. They went that meta with it.
Yeah, it is, and it is Dio. It is the world. It is his time stop power. It just freezes your computer and bricks it. It's perfect.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. But yeah, I didn't even know there were 50 characters like that you would say were remarkable enough to be in a JoJo Bizarre Adventure fighting game. But they did it.
I feel like there has to be, right? Because each like new story of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is a new generation of people, right? It follows all the Joestars. So I feel
Yeah,
like they've
but
got to
like
have like at
there's
least a
like
cast of like at least 5 per story, right?
dude, you would think, but like that first one is like, look at this guy that uses his hands to fight. Look at this guy who has a sword. And then the next one is like, let's do that again, but now they're
Okay,
all sexy men. And and then the next one's
Minachi,
like,
you
I can
just
make a
explained
Cadillac come out of the ground and hit you. Like
you just
that's
explained every anime ever.
yeah.
Like, oh, this person fights with his hands. Oh, look, this guy has a sword. Like, oh, this guy is kind of goofy and weird, but he's also magical. Like, that's every anime ever, Mandachi. That's how that works.
And then they
It's the
fucking fight
formula.
God.
Yeah,
And
then
then
they
they
punch
fight
God.
God.
And then they fight God. Was there anything else in the Sony State of Play that you guys wanted to mention that like piqued your interest at all?
Yeah,
Tractor Yomi.
they're fucking groundbreaker that they were like, "Oh, we got one more for you." And it was Valkyrie Profile sequel, a game that last had a title come out 13 years ago. And it looks like something I played on the PS2, but it's coming out on the PS5.
Yeah. Eric, what were you about to say?
Yeah, those last two, I think it was like the Dealfield Chronicle and the Valkyrie one.
Mm.
I definitely was like, okay, are they still releasing games for the PS3? Like, I didn't understand, but I was making sure I was watching the right, state of play, because I'm like, okay, maybe I missed something. I think I had to get up. That Trek to Yomi, that looks interesting. The
Yes,
black and
yeah.
white samurai game. I'm just wondering if the black and white has like something to play into it, or it was just like a total artistic style. But yeah, that one
Yeah.
looks interesting.
It definitely seemed like it was trying to play on Akira Kurosawa. And like, but the thing is, like Kurosawa's films, like he had plenty of color films as well, and like they're still not doing black and white right. It's like grayscale. It's not black
Yeah.
and white. It's like this grayscale. So I feel like I'm looking at like a pencil shaded comic, which I mean, like it'll probably be cool. But I also remember when Mad World released on the Wii, so this is pretty much the exact same thing.
Mm. Mm. I'm definitely. I want to see. Because now that you brought that up, I'm just thinking about it. Like, yeah, that does look like they just turned the saturation down. So that, yeah. Because I was thinking like the whole time I was like, man, if this was in color, this would probably look amazing. Like it looks good now, but I'm definitely I'm gonna check that out. I think that'll be it. Like the two that I saw the most was kind of the what was it? The Ghostwire and Trek to Yomi. I was like, those might be the ones that I check out the most.
Yeah. Pretty much right there with you, man. That and honestly, I might check out Exoprimal. There's another game that's pretty much exactly like it that's had a lot of titles that I've had a lot of fun with, which is EDF or Earth Defense Force. A game that doesn't take itself seriously at all, is constantly trying to break itself, but you will literally walk away with a headache from just laughing so much, especially if you play with your friends. But that's going to be like a tentative. I'm going to like wait, watch it from afar, see how it does, and then we'll go ahead and step into it.
Would love to play Ghostwire, but I don't foresee myself getting a PS5 just to play Ghostwire.
Right.
I'm hoping in the future, like Sony's been letting a lot of their exclusives, like well, I shouldn't say a lot, a few, like God of War, go to PC. So I'm hoping they start realizing that hey, we have amazing titles that people would love to play and drop a lot of money for, and not have to buy a console that a lot of people can't even fucking get right now. So I'd love to see that on PC.
And that's the truth, because the Xbox thing that I got, and I could just put it on my whatever PC I'm on. I love it. I'm like, yeah, I don't have to go buy an Xbox now. So if they did something like that, because I'm definitely not going to be out here fighting to get a 5 anytime soon. So unless somebody just happens to have one and they're like, here you go, I'm not pressed to pick up a PlayStation 5 to play any of these. I think the Cowabunga series is coming to other uh devices, so I might pick that up on the Switch or something. But
That's a
or
perfect Switch game too. Like you
yeah,
can
that's
bring it places, man.
that right there. That might do that. Or on my Steam Deck in 2025 when I get it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Excellent. I think that's the show. I don't think there's anything else that we wanted to mention, right?
No, I don't think so. Not for me.
Oh, there's a massive Capcom sale if you're a Capcom fan on Steam. There's like a ton of games, everything that's come out for PC from Monster Hunter, all of the Resident Evil games. I'm talking 1 remake, 0, 2, 3, 4, the remakes, 5, 6, 7, Biohazard, and Village. A lot of that stuff is 75% off. Dragon's Dogma's there. Every DMC game, Devil May Cry, all of those, a lot of the DLC for all of them as well. It's huge. Also, if you're a retro fan, they have a massive arcade bundle 1, 2, and 3. You got that all bunched together, and that's like $30, and I think it's like 30 games, and it's pretty cool because it actually sits you down in an arcade, like a virtual arcade, and you move cabinet to cabinet to go and play whatever you want to sit down and play. So I would highly recommend going to Steam to check that out, and that's going on until March 21st. So you got some time.
That actually
I'm
reminded me. Amazon Luna launched last week, a week before that.
Yeah.
I actually tried it out on my Fire Stick in the living room. There is a free platform for it. Devil May Cry 5 is one of the games that you can play. They do like a rotating like 5 different games every month or something like that.
Yeah.
wow.
And you can download an app on your phone to use as a controller.
Interesting.
Horrible.
Mm.
A horrible way to play Devil May Cry 5. But
Yeah.
it seemed like it handled well, like on my PC, or not on my PC, my living room TV. The controls were difficult because I was sitting there with my phone, just like sitting here like using 3 fingers because I couldn't hold a controller.
Right. Yeah.
So
A game
that's
that uses all 4 triggers and all 4 face buttons and multiple directions on a joystick to do combos and special attacks.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But yeah,
That's-
I've actually been planning. It's been on my list of things to do for a little bit, but I actually plan on ordering a Luna controller because we have a Fire
Hmm.
TV, and both me
Ah,
and Carla have Amazon Prime, so we have access to Luna.
that's the thing though. Prime still covers the base free version of Luna,
Yeah.
but if you want like the extra tiers,
Yeah.
you have to pay for those
more.
monthly.
Yeah.
how much is it?
I think the highest one is $17.99 a month.
Ah, okay.
But there's like a standard one for like $5.99, $4.99, or $5.99, something like that.
Did you guys ever try Stadia?
No, we are the Stadia haters.
Ah,
No Stadians in this house.
Yeah.
I have it. I didn't like any of the games that I had on there, and I was just like, yeah. Nah.
We highly advocated for GeForce now.
Mhm.
Because like it just runs off of your Steam. You log into your Steam via their streaming that PC that you're playing. So you don't have to buy games on essentially a new platform, because that's what Stadia tried to do. Was like, hey, we're our own platform. We're like an Xbox. When in all actuality, you were renting a PC. It was just streaming the information that it was doing to your TV. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's I plan on doing like a Luna review at some point. And we'll start adding it into like our deals of the month thing, because it's a pretty decent deal. I think just having an Amazon Prime account now, if you're a gamer, is almost a must-have with the Twitch Prime games that you get, or the games that you can claim through the Amazon gaming, and now Amazon Luna. Like right now, it's Devil May Cry 5 Flashback Observer, which Observer is always a good game. Amnesia Rebirth, Trax Toy Box Edition, the King of Fighters 98 is on there right now for I'm sorry. Some of these are coming in April. So right now through March 31st, Devil May Cry Flashback Observer. And then is that Fogs? I think that's how you pronounce it.
Bog?
Yeah, it's yeah, I think it's like Fogs or something.
Okay. And
Apparently
then
that's a big title name that I've never heard of.
yeah, I've never heard of it either. And then in April you get King of Fighters 98, Amnesia, Trax, Toy Box, and Mortal Shell. So it seems like a pretty good deal. So look forward to a review from that once I get the Amazon Luna controller. Ian.
Hell yeah.
But guys, let's go ahead and wrap up the show.
All right.
Let's start with you, Eric.
Yeah.
For anyone who missed at the top of the episode, who are you? What do you do? And where can people find you? And like, just what do you got coming up?
Shikanfolk Dookie, man. I do reviews on my channel, DVZNMedia. It's called Bang Tech. So budget and new gear. That's kind of the premise on what I started it with. I want to help you get the best bang for your tech dollars. I really just ran through my intro right there. That was shout out to that. But man, come check me out, man. We talk PCs. I'm about to build another PC. I do reviews on products, so a lot of audio stuff. You know, I do have a heavy audio background, so I'm always trying out new headphones and speakers. I love video stuff, so I'll be doing some camera stuff on my channel this year as well. Just trying to stay, you know, involved with the tech that I really love, the stuff that gets me going. You can find me on all the socials at DVZNMedia. I appreciate the fellas for letting me come up in here. I haven't been streaming or going live in a while, so it was kind of good to knock the dust off and jump back in the ring, man. I appreciate y'all for letting me come up in here.
We loved having you.
Yeah.
Oh man, thank you,
blast.
thank you.
Literally
Thank you.
any time, because
Oh,
I
man.
feel like I have more knowledge now. I feel like a better person, a better consumer.
Well,
Smarter.
I'm definitely, I don't know about that, but I'll definitely come on here and talk shit anytime that y'all
This is
have
the
me.
place for it, man. This
I'm
is
down.
the place for it.
I'm down.
Greenlee, what you got coming up on your channel?
Definitely some Hunt Showdown. As I said, there was an event coming up. I'm gonna be playing more Destiny 2. I've actually convinced a friend to at least download the free to play. I don't know how much Tarkov I'm gonna be playing, because I am starting to get to that point where everyone keeps shooting me in the face and I'm not getting happy about it. You know, like, oh, this is the game that's supposed to be like super realistic, and then I get one tap the moment I enter a game. But yeah, it's just an all around assortment of games, first person shooters. You can catch me at twitch.tv/Mr. Greenlee. Also on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, all the fancies. I'm gonna start posting more TikTok videos. I've been really slacking. I've been really dealing with a lot of depression lately, especially when I'm home by myself. So I'm working that out, and I'm also taking a vacation. I think not this next week, but the week after that. I will be gone for a week and a half. A little bit over a week and a half. Which will be nice. Nice palate cleanse mentally and physically. So yeah, you can catch me on all those socials, Mr. Greenlee.
Mendachi.
So first and foremost, you deserve that vacation, man, and I hope that you get some refresher. And man, the depression is real, and in these times, it just comes in waves, and sometimes it stays way too long. So I feel for you, man. As far as what's coming up on my channel, it's tentative at best. I've got 3 herniated discs in my back. This past week they had just kind of decided to flare up and mess with my sciatic nerve. So I was almost not present at all on anything all week, but I'm also hitting the grindstone pretty hard at work. Last week was a 60-hour week. This week's a 55er. So maybe we'll be back, but the days are always going to be Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Thursday and Friday is either going to be an indie game that caught my eye or more Elden Ring. And then Saturday is Monster Hunter Rise with the friends. So that's always going to be with Vic and Brent and someone from the community or another friend that decides to pop in. And that's on the Switch. All of that is at twitch.tv/Mendaci, MENDACII. And if you just want to like check up on me, ask me if my spine has decided to leave my body entirely, you can check me out on Twitter at OnlyMendaci. So love you guys. Please take care of yourselves. Take time for yourself. And yoga is really good for your health, gotta say.
Yeah, yeah. Coming up on my channel, we'll be doing probably some Hunt Showdown Friday, Saturday night. And then, of course, guys, we got to do Master Duel on Sundays. Y'all love playing Yu-Gi-Oh! On Sundays. It's fun. Green gets mad. It's hilarious. It's a great time.
It's not funny. It's a horrible game and no one should be playing it.
But yet you still come back.
Shh. Only because I need friends.
So yeah, that's the plan. You guys can find me on Twitter, Danie K Media, at Danie K DANIECAE. Yeah, but guys, that's gonna wrap up the show this week. Thanks for watching and listening. Your time with us is always appreciated. Of course, though, we're not just interested in your time. We want to hear from you as well. So let us know what you think about any of the topics that we talked about today in the notes. You can also tweet at us. Green, where can they tweet at us at?
At Next to Nothing PC.
Excellent. And don't forget the question of the week. This week, our question is, what is your favorite gaming accessory? So let us know what that is in the YouTube comments or tweet at us. If you guys missed any part of the show or want to take us on the go, you can find us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and everywhere podcasts are found. If you guys want to catch us live, you can find us on Twitch every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Central Time. If you guys like what we do, drop a like or subscribe and ring that bell. It really helps us out a ton on YouTube. If you really want to take it to the next level, though, the number one thing you guys can do is by telling your friends. It really does. It helps us out a lot. Guys, until then, stay safe, stay healthy, keep fighting the good fights. We'll talk to you guys again next week. Goodbye.
Mooches.
Love you.